pack of Modelo with a gold cap, coming together like a dope rap. Get slapped like a wine bag, red, white day, we both blue. Smoke that which I told you, thick cut on my bowl dude. Cut back in the coke, pull short, 1,000 years of death, say what? Silver dagger, skip chemistry class, stress free since 93. Glory to God, spark fresh gas, ignite.
Roland, Goon, walk your goofy ass back to your
You can't
chair.
smoke on here, dude.
All right, guys, this is the long-awaited first episode, and we were just having a little discussion before this show. We were talking about coming. Zach, you told me a story one time. You let a little something slip out while you were busting. How'd that go?
Yeah, I fell over when I was done.
Nah. You farted.
Yeah.
You farted while you were
Dude,
busting.
I would say it was a 2. It was almost cute. It was cute. I don't see the problem in it. You build back pressure just like a truck.
Yeah, but trucks have a beep warning. What was your warning?
Was it one of them like it's covered, it's there, it's done.
I'll show you what she saw right before he farted.
Was it one of those like yeah, you know what I look like.
I know what I look like. I just assume you look the same.
All men look the same.
Oh shit.
That boy chain smoking.
Oh man.
Share it. No, he lit one. Oh, no, you got stingy and smoked all of them. Guy that doesn't smoke. Oh, don't die now because we're all talking. We don't want to make you feel bad. I'm quitting again. Until next time.
What's that movie where that dude sits down and asks for a hit of their weed and then he's like, man, you can just buy some. He's like, nah, just quit smoking yesterday.
Oh, what is that?
Half-baked.
Half-baked, that's it. They're on that stoop.
Yeah, dude, that was hilarious.
Stoop?
I love that movie.
Stoop. You never watch Hey Arnold?
Man, y'all are some fucking dinosaurs in here.
Stoop. You don't know what Hey Arnold
Yeah, I used to watch Hey Arnold, but I didn't start watching it as early as you did.
Yeah, because
you're old as shit. Exactly, that's what I'm getting at. You motherfuckers are old.
Dude, you're really young.
You're a dinosaur.
You're a fucking baby. What the hell? Look at your beard. What beard? Yeah, that's it. That's what I'm saying. Patchy ass.
I'm working on it. You've
been working on it for 20, 40 years.
I've been putting lotion on it to hopefully make it grow fast.
That's probably why you got all them zit. Lotion on
I get them worse whenever I shave.
That's true.
That's why I try not to shave.
You give dirty looks.
It ain't razor burn, bitch.
Table we are.
Breaks my skin out.
Oh, then you just have infected hairs.
Well, doctor.
Or I got sensitive skin, you fucking weirdo. All my hairs are infected.
No, you don't have that.
Only when I shave them, though. Goon, if I had infected hairs, wouldn't it break me out to have a beard, not break me out to shave it?
You'd have to pull the fucking pimples out, the hairs out of your pimples.
They're not ingrown hairs.
If they're infected, it'd just be a pimple with the hair inside it anyway. Ingrown
It's
hairs
not
grow.
infected. I just have sensitive skin.
This bitch is lying. It's all that lotion. Look, you got too much on your hands. Them baby's smooth. By the time you get to your face, you're just rubbing shit on there, dude.
My hands are rough.
Yeah, about as rough as it was hearing you make that deep voice.
The feeling of driving for a truck.
Hey, that boy just needs to
What do you say?
loogie out the back. You know what I'm talking about? Them loogies that make you sound like that frog off of...
All right. Anyways, we had technical difficulties. Hold on. We had technical difficulties earlier. So we were all talking about our ages and our 21st birthday, and you guys don't deserve to miss that. So, Goon, your 21st birthday story.
Yeah, he didn't.
Go ahead.
My 21st birthday, I didn't do anything for my actual birthday. I went out the weekend of because none of my friends were around and nobody was old enough. So,
What do you mean you didn't do anything for your birthday, though?
I literally sat at home on my actual birthday, and then I went out for the weekend.
What day of the week was your birthday on?
It was a Wednesday.
It's our birthday stories again.
Yeah, but when I have a birthday party, and I have it like the weekend following or the weekend before my birthday, I still do it for my birthday.
No.
Yeah,
But
you
how
do,
you
but
getting
what
2 birthdays?
what I'm saying is like
I don't. But I don't want to
It's
celebrate
just
in the
like
middle of the week while
same
everybody's
guy
at
that
work.
has 19 going away parties and never leaves.
Yeah. He gives
Some of us work, so we can't celebrate through the week.
He gives
Yeah,
the
I
military
completely
for 5
understand.
minutes.
So I got to celebrate on the weekend, so I only get one birthday.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
we all get
Dick.
one birthday,
Yeah.
dick.
You just tried to say I
Sorry.
got 2 because I celebrated on the weekend after.
We don't have time to celebrate. We have a job, dick.
Anyway,
Double party, it ain't got time. Like, what the fuck, dude?
So I had a
Convincing.
bottle of Jack Daniel's Tennessee Fire. So we decided that we were gonna go to Frank's Country Palace.
Mm.
I drank half a bottle one time I got to Frank's Country Palace. Walked in and she scanned my ID and it was invalid because it died. It went out.
Died.
It went out the day.
R.I.P.
Fuck, bud. I don't even remember the
It went out.
burial.
it cut
went out.
itself in half the day he turned 21.
It went out the day I turned 21, so I couldn't use my ID when I went to the bar when it wouldn't scan. So I ended up having to go to.
They don't let it expire at fucking midnight after that day?
Yeah, it was after.
Oh, I get what you mean.
And then, so I had to leave.
It-
So
We're
we had to
doing that.
leave,
We're on
you know.
video.
and We went
what
to,
the fuck? We just whispered.
we went to another bar.
We can see you.
Yeah.
We went to another bar, and it was only like 5 minutes away. And I'd finished the rest of the bottle before I got there. And went in, and
Is
The
that when
bartend-
you got your ID in?
no, because my ID wasn't. It was not valid, but they could use it like if you read it. They could say, oh, "Okay, I'm over 21."
Yeah.
That bar only did like looked at the ID and then went away. But of course, I knew the bartender, so it was fine anyway. So it was $1 beer night. Anything off the draft, you could have it for $1. I spent $50, and I was so fucked up I couldn't walk straight. Walked out, got in my buddy's truck. He drove me home. We only made it not even to Frank's yet, and I had to puke. He's trying to open the door or have me puke out the window. I couldn't get the door to open. I'm trying to find the handle of the door. You know how in most vehicles it's up here. This thing was like down and underneath something, and I couldn't get a hold of it.
That don't sound like the door handle.
Everything's down and under when you're drunk.
Yeah, no shit. Well,
He was sitting there fucking reclining his seat back and forth. Why can't I get out of this?
I couldn't-
I'm gonna throw up.
one of my other buddies was in the back
You're
seat.
probably motion sick.
I'm gonna throw up.
Rocking back and forth.
One of the other buddies is in the back seat. He's trying to open, getting out of the truck, and I'm throwing up down the door, jammed down between the
Oh man.
He got the door open, and as I'm throwing up, I missed him somehow. Then he goes to like get me out, and he falls down in the snow in my puke, like completely covered his back in my vomit from falling in it. Oh man, that was a good night. I went home, and they were trying to clean it up in my car, and or in my driveway, and I'm just like, no help because I can't do anything.
Imagine doing fucking acrobats to dodge puke just to fall and land in 10 seconds. Fucking
Especially a kid that's over 300 pounds. Like,
So he covered door.
I think regardless of your weight, it's shitty to fall and puke.
Yeah.
no, but what I mean
Yeah,
is
he
he
like-
missed it all when he's
Oh.
over 300 pounds, and then all of a sudden he falls in it.
So he went from super impressive to super
so
embarrassed.
he got around all of your throw up except the last one.
Until he got me out of the car, and then
He
he
dodged
slipped
all
on
of
the
it and
ice
then fell
in the snow
into it.
into the pile of puke.
Jesus.
I mean, so that was my 21st. It was pretty uneventful.
Speaking of puke, you remember that time when we Devin B puked in your cavie?
Oh,
We
yeah.
drove the whole way to Hawthorne, told him to clean it the next morning. We stood outside the car and watched him.
And it still stunk like it for 3 days. That was after a moonshine night, and then his dad tried to clean it up at like 4 o'clock in the morning when he dropped him off, and he still didn't get it cleaned up.
I've puked in a couple people's cars. I've
Yeah.
never had to clean it up.
That's
They were always
I-
nice enough to clean it for me.
Oh my, yeah. It was my parents. They weren't very happy with me. If you think about it, they drove me to where we got drunk, okay, and then they drove me home. So I would say that was their fault. Like, they
volunteered
Yeah.
for the puke wagon.
yeah, well, kinda. I got it out of the vehicle, but it was all down the outside. Like, I put the window down. Well, first, I ran my head right into a window. I thought it was down. I was smoking. I was drunk. Don't know where I was even ashing. Well, then I climb out the window in my parents' car.
The window.
Yeah, I was being nice. Oh, no, not driving.
They were moving.
Down the road.
Oh,
like,
I thought you said you climbed out the window.
yeah.
Hung out the
halfway.
window.
Hung.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're not hung.
Yeah, that's how I blame my parents again. Yeah, I'll deal with that one. Yeah, I threw up. I watched them all day long clean their car. They get me and a buddy of mine, take us, we get drunk up on the hill, head back down, I climb out, because I got throw up. My mom was like, Zach, what are you doing? No, I don't feel good. I got spins, I'm just cooling down, I'm throwing up. Well, I thought I was doing good. I was shooting that shit. I had precision with my mouth. You know what I mean? I was aiming puke balls everywhere.
Far away.
Well, no, they're going down the side of the car. Down the whole fucking side of this car. And it was nasty. I didn't even know it happened. Well, they didn't know it happened until the next day either. Yeah, they blew my phone up. They said, next time you're cleaning this. Well, I guess that does turn back. Hey, they cleaned it for me. I got another one, too.
Anthony doesn't know how to get puke out of a car.
No, you just you hit a level of drunk and you can't roll over. You can't get out of a car. I'm sick. We're leaving a party. Me, Brock, and a couple other friends. And did I tell Jay to pull over, or did you tell him?
No. All you said was, I'm gonna puke. And he said, don't do it in the car. I'm gonna pull over.
Yeah, and it felt like I was in the car for a half hour. He didn't pull over or nothing.
It was like 30 seconds after he said, don't puke in the car, we were already pulled over. He's already puking.
It's ringing.
Oh, bouncing off the fucking red line. But yeah, he was already puking whenever we pulled over. He didn't try to roll the window down. He didn't try to open the door. Nothing, dude. He was just puking in the car. And Jay goes, my car, dude. You're puking all over my car.
Well, I just couldn't hear anything over Brandon. I feel bad for him because I was leaning, with my head towards his lap, and it was just coming out onto the seat, and from him sitting down, and I'm a little dude, so it's rolling down for more weight, And he's like, he's up
The
like
seat
this.
is like,
He's up like this, and he was like, "Come on, Anthony, please quit puking."
I can't wait till we play this back and you see your face when you just did that.
That's what he looked like.
It was the perfect face for somebody getting thrown up on. Under.
Wasn't that the night that you puked in it was in her car, wasn't it? And then her purse.
Jay was driving.
Her purse was in there. Didn't you fill her purse up or something?
I don't
and she
know.
went to take it into work, and it was just full of vomit.
There was probably some in there, dude. He was puking for a while.
And
even whenever we stopped, he didn't try to get out. He just laid with his face on the seat and kept puking all through the back of the car. He didn't even try to move.
Dude, I was bad. I was bleeding that night.
Yeah, he punched a mailbox trying to show everybody what's up.
I don't even remember that. I just remember wiping my face, and I thought it was on my face, but it was on my hand. And I was like, "Who punched me?"
He hits a mailbox and his hand's bleeding. He went like this and saw blood on his hand. He's like, "Who fucking hit me?" I was like, "Nobody. You hit a mailbox."
I remember when we were little kids, and the little redhead that used to run around with us, and we were at the skating ring, dude, and we all got too drunk, obviously, little kids. Yeah, there's a limit. Who would have thought?
Let's talk about how long we didn't get busted at the skating rink, taking Blue Wave and Gatorade bottles and shit.
Well,
They
we just
never
did.
caught on.
Yeah, they did. They're not dumb. Who wears sunglasses in a dark skating ring?
A lot of people now. That's a thing now. Sunglasses in the dark.
Yeah, look at the 1980s. It was full of dark sunglasses and skating rings.
Just bringing
the
it
whole
back.
80s.
drugs and everything else too. So.
Yeah, so was Hawthorne back then, too.
But anyway.
Where'd you grow up?
Distant.
Stay there.
back up.
Okay. Weird thoughts.
All right, so you were talking about the redhead, the same little ginger that took a shit beside a fire and slept right next to it.
Yeah, that was weird. Yeah, that was right. You know how we put flowers on his door every year?
For what?
Well, then I'm gonna say you don't know.
No,
What happened?
Wait.
I wasn't a part of that part.
Yeah, it would take flowers off the neighbor's bush. Like, you ever see them bushes that have like them pretty pink flowers? Yeah, we would make a bundle of them. It would put them on his porch and put from your secret admirer every year. He never knew. You didn't know that?
He never knew he had a
This
secret
poor
admirer,
guy, man.
or he didn't know.
I'm
who it
just-
was.
Well,
he didn't
if
know.
he
it was
didn't
you.
know he had a secret admirer, it was like 4 of his buddies, so that's kind of weird.
Dude, you're probably on a hit list somewhere. It just reminds me of Adam Sandler movie, you know, or whatever. He's like putting lipstick on and he crosses off the hit list.
Oh, not this
That's
guy.
probably what he's doing right now. He's gonna hear this and be like, "So was you, asshole."
He probably has your picture and just like sitting there rubbing his nipples, like
No, I hope not.
in the dark.
Ain't Buffalo Bill.
Stealing
Yeah, this
everything.
is some little redhead running around pooping by fires and sleeping in them. It ain't no
Dude,
Buffalo
he
Bill.
shit right beside, right
Dude,
outside the
he
fire
just
ring,
stood up.
and just laid down
We
when he
were
was
all there.
done and went to
Standing
sleep.
right beside him, just whipped his ass out, start taking a shit. I didn't.
And then he
know
just
if we had a party in the wrong spot, know that in the shitter or what. This guy's taking his shit. We
Gotta move the fire.
We all got away from the fire like we were in the wrong. Like, oh, sorry for interrupting. Must have been sleeping.
yeah, and then he just laid down as soon
Lay
as he was
down.
done.
That was it.
He didn't even wipe first.
No.
Just fucking laid
Not
down.
if it's that bad, dude. Wiping is not worth it.
That reminds me of a story. My buddy T, or I just call him T, went to bed, and we're down at Camp SD, and he was in the tent. He was so drunk he stood up and had to pee. He thought he opened the zipper, and he's just standing there in the corner pissing on the fucking pots and pans, and it's just hanging off it. And all you hear is another kid, the other kid that was sleeping in like the tent with him. He goes, "Oh, come on, T, no!" He's fucking pissing all through the tent.
Well, me and Zach realized last time while we were in the middle of talking that the same house that I went to that was like super shitty and trashed and like looked like it was already about a fucking soggy board away from being condemned. We found out that the couch I pissed behind on this kid's floor and the couch that he opened up the cushions and puked in was the same couch in the same house. So that probably explains why it was about to be condemned when I was there.
No, I
Did
don't
this-
think me
did this
throwing up
house
on a
so
couch
happen to be
affects
in
the house.
Brookville?
You can get rid of it.
No.
Okay.
No, I know. Are you talking about
No,
the
we
house?
didn't destroy your house.
That
like
they
you
just
said.
they just came in and stomped. They just seen
Yeah.
everybody smashing stuff and just stomped their feet right through the floor.
Yeah, the kid walked in the door and just like looked
Braden
around.
B.
Yeah. Looks around, everybody's just breaking shit, dude, and he just goes stomps both his feet straight through the floor. There's just holes in the floor. And then we'll just call him Triple C for this video. He kicked the
You'll
wall.
meet him later.
He kicked the wall and got his foot stuck in the wall.
Dude, that
And he
kid's
was
nuts,
like-
man. He is.
Is that in
wild.
Brookville?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was there.
Were you there?
Yeah, they were playing something about a monkey, and I can't remember the song. I just heard that song.
Brass Monkey?
No,
Brass Monkey Junkie.
no,
that
it was like
funky
shake
monkey.
that monkey, shake that monkey.
I never heard that
That's
monkey
a
song.
remix, man. He just made it up.
I mean, it was just some rap song, and all these girls are just twerking in there, and then all of a sudden everybody starts punching holes in the walls and stuff.
Correction.
Sounds like a
All the
lot of
girls in
testosterone.
there were trying to twerk.
Yeah, I guess that.
Yeah, this was
back
probably
then before it even
2009.
started. 2010.
They were moving their.
They were
backs
rattling
more than
their.
anything.
They were rattling.
They were moving there.
They
They
looked
were-
like a dog thrown.
They
up
were
in your
rattling
living
their
room.
bone bags. Is what they were doing.
No, it was another one. She came over and they always do that. You know, hands, knees crawling.
They always
across
do
the
that
stage.
pussy in your face thing.
Kind of fucking chitty bar is so dumb.
Yeah, but
That
she's
face
like
funny.
crawling, you know. Well, she was like, she was crawling over, you know. I didn't know what she was. I thought she was just gonna, you know, put her boobs in Jay's face or something. Well, all of a sudden, she like pulls back behind her head and slaps Jay in the face. I swear, the chair tipped back. She hit him so hard. His head turned. He looks right at her, and she said, "Say my name." He looks at her. And he says, "Bitch, I don't even know your fucking name."
Dude, we were there one night and we paid for somebody to get in the hot seat. That shit is rough. Have you ever seen anybody in the hot seat? So, to bring out, like, they bring out the hot seat and they sit it in front of a pool.
What is it? Just a regular like metal
It's just
chair?
a chair, yeah. They bring it out and they slide the back of it up against one of the pools. So we had this buddy sitting in the chair, and they all start taking turns. They climb all the way up to the top of the pool and just free fall onto their lap to like smush their nuts and shit because they're like trying to hurt you. So he goes through all that, probably like, I don't know, 9 or 10 ass smashes, and they yank him out of the chair. They yank him out of the chair and lay him on his back, and they're like getting in like the 69 position, and they start like biting his underwear and shit. They grab his boxers, rip his boxers off of his body, and like take them off, so they're fucked. And then they roll him over, put him on his hands and knees, and then they just whip you with a belt in the ass until you give in. And we're all sitting there cheering for like 10 minutes while this kid's getting whipped with a belt hard as fuck.
About one
And
ass
we were
smack
like,
before I had PTSD from my dad, and I'm like, I'm sorry.
but we were like, everybody's yelling and cheering, like,
you get off me.
everybody's yelling and cheering. They're like, don't quit, don't give up. But these strippers eventually got tired of hitting them, and they were just like, we're done. We're not hitting you anymore. And I still have pictures of his ass on my phone, dude. By the time we walked outside, his whole ass was like dark purple, dude. It was so bad. It looked like fucking frostbite. It was rough. And
So what do you
fuck
do? You just
up.
say, "Hey, I want to put him on the hot seat," and they just
Yeah, you gotta pay money. It ain't $250.
$250. What kind of high class?
It's like $50.
That's what they paid at Club Blue or whatever it is, whatever it was before Sugar Shack.
I don't know if we can clear that.
But
Might have to bleep that out.
Bradley, they had him on there, and they paid $250 for him to go up there. And they did the same.
I remember we were in there one night. One of the kids I went to school with, I won't say his name, but we were in there. I walked in, and I was just more or less going there to drink because they stay open late as shit. So we were going there to get fucked up. But it wasn't super late. It was only like 10 o'clock. And I'm sitting at the stage drinking a beer, and I see him come out of the bathroom. And he says, he like looks at me, puts his arm around me, and he's like almost in tears. And I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? And he's like, I've been here for like 2.5 hours. And I was like, all right. And he's like, I already spent like $500. And I was like, what are you spending $500 on? And he's like, well, I haven't left the private room yet. And like the girls there are not that impressive to like get that many lap dances from.
But
and everything they do is illegal.
they, I can't say
Like
the
their
one kid's
nails?
name, but he was older.
Yeah, like in Pennsylvania, they're not allowed to come over the bar and make contact with you and shit. But they'll put their fucking feet on your shoulders and slam your ass or slam their ass into your face like 8 times.
Yeah, the paid to. I know one kid paid in the back room. I seen him come out of the back room this night.
Oh God!
He come out of the back room, went to the ATM, come back out, walk back in. Well, I had to go up there. I was already on my way up to the ATM to get more cash out. I only had a little bit on me when I walked in. You know how it stays up on the screen for a second? How much? He pulled out $1,500 and walked back in to the back room. He did that 4 times. 4 times. Walked in there. I was like, holy crap.
First of all, I want his fucking debit card because
how you spend?
I've never seen a debit card that lets you pull out $1,500 out of an ATM more than once.
I swear that's what it said. It said 15000 with a comma in between the 1 and a 5.
This guy's just.
How many have you drank before you read that ATM?
He said 0.
Motherfucker, that was
Zero,
a 1.5.
zero.
That was $15. That's all it takes. What the fuck you talking about? $1,500.
It was probably 150.
Yeah, it's
$15 ain't gonna get you nothing.
Will an
But
ATM even give you $1,500?
I don't know. Maybe there.
Maybe there. The Titty Bar has the best ATM in town.
I know my card, like I can only pull out as much as like 500 at a time. Yeah, and I can. I
Unless
have
he
a.
had that unlocked for the night. I mean, he was up there 3 or 4 times.
I think it depends on your
I'm
bank.
stingy over $1. Like you got to do more than that. I mean, me.
Bitch, I'm gonna be throwing quarters.
What is he
He
spending?
he just pretends. I'll tell you what he does.
$1,500
They-
at a time.
They
on.
put their head close to
I
Anthony
would.
while he's talking, and he takes a dollar bill in his hand and goes like this, and then whenever his arm's behind their head, he doesn't let go of it. He pulls it
Mr.
back,
Krabs
pretends
trick.
he's grabbing another one. And fucking they turn around the
There's
stage.
a pocket full of ones.
They turn around after like 15 minutes. There's $1
Yeah, I
bills.
Throwing.
I spend like
What's he been doing the whole time?
I spend like $30 at max, and the 20 of it's just to get in.
Yeah.
That's how I am. Yeah.
Dude, that's why I like the one in Katanning so much, because you pay $20 to get in and you
And-
just drink free all night. Well,
Yeah.
I would go there sometimes just to sit at the bar all night, because you spend $20, you can drink as much as you want.
Yeah.
It's
Hey,
like
that's a
that
good idea.
Keystone Light and like that cheap Bankers Club bottom shelf liquor.
I don't know if we can clear that either.
There goes our
No, we
sponsors.
can't.
Oh man,
Yeah.
the days. You think you could live like that anymore now?
No.
That we're at the age now.
I wouldn't want to.
I think about
I
that
don't
all the
know. I
time.
think it's a rhythm, man. You give me 2 fucking weeks of straight drinking, by the third week, I'm either dead or doing it again. So
If you could start over from your first memories, would you do it all over again?
I do it all the same. I had a
Yeah.
fucking blast.
Yeah, it was rough. Some shit parts, but
I would try to make sure I actually gave a shit about my credit when I was like 17.
Oh yeah.
But other than
Dude,
that,
they don't teach any of that. Like I don't remember
No, I
learning
think
any
they
of that.
do. We just didn't learn any of that.
Listen.
Like we didn't soak it in.
Maybe we weren't even in those classes. Either.
no, I.
Well, I know I
in
wasn't. I was in the broom room. We didn't
Math-
learn nothing in there.
Them fucking handles are shiny.
Math,
Didn't even have
if
a
you-
window to look out of.
If you take your senior year, if you take Math 12 instead of taking like
I took
the
Math
advanced
12.
algebras or trig, Math 12 she teaches you how to run a checkbook, how to balance mortgage,
Not when I was in
interest
school.
rates and shit.
Not when
Yeah,
was in
I
school.
thought Miss Trout did. She taught you all about math and everything.
I took a Math 12, applied whatever.
That's fine.
Miss Trout through in the world like Jesus.
Yeah, there's a lot to sue us. Every one of them
Line 'em up.
motherfuckers.
Everyone, I must have missed it, but I don't
I
remember doing
must have
that
missed
day.
it.
You must have been sick that day.
I must have been sick the only day they taught us anything valuable in Math 12.
Hey, what are you gonna do, man?
I mean, I had all my advanced stuff. I just didn't want to take trigonometry, so.
All right, cocky.
He didn't
comes
get
straight
offered
in banging,
trigonometry.
just-
I've seen him on a calculator. He did not get offered trigonometry.
I mean, that was the only other class left was trig. And
No,
that
I
was
have
all
nothing to say
trig.
about this because I graduated doing 7th grade math.
That's good. You
Dude,
graduated.
I'm telling you.
Did you know it
Pathways
wasn't 12th
messed me
grade?
up. Them 2 years I went to Pathways.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
treat you like you're in 4th grade.
Yeah, I went there and we were doing like 1 + 1, 2 + 2.
Yeah.
And I was in 7th grade when I went there and I'm like, what is this? But I was like, oh, this is awesome. You
Dude,
know,
You
I'm
were smart,
passing.
weren't you?
I was passing. I'm like, and then all these like city kids,
You were fucking lost.
all
I'm
these
passing, but I'm not getting
I went.
straight
I went.
A's.
And,
Yeah.
I
all
went.
these
And,
city kids are in there just like scratching their head, and I'm like, look at this idiot. You
yeah,
know?
dude. There was people in there. This guy. Whenever I went there, I went to the one they had in Clarion. They had a small one, like temporarily.
You
Well,
little
whenever I
sissy
went
one.
there, huh?
The sissy one. You didn't go to the real Oil City one. The real deal.
Like it fucking matters. Just a bunch of kids that think they're tough. Jesus.
telling you.
But anyway, I went to the one in Clarion.
Like,
I went to the one in
Remember
Clarion, and then there was kids in there because I was in 8th grade when I went, and there was kids in there that like the one time there was a teacher and a security guard in each room, and every single teacher and security guard was like ultra obese for some reason. I don't know why it was like that, but it was. So the one teacher was a woman, and she was asking us what fatigue meant.
oh shit.
And this kid goes, she like looks at him because he wouldn't raise his hand. She looks at him and says, "Do you know what fatigue means? Tell me what fatigue means." And he goes, "We'll use it." And she says, "I came into work today and I feel fatigued." And he says, "I don't know, beautiful." And the security guard just goes, "What are you, drunk?" And I was like, "Oh my god."
This dude, when I was in there, I was in like, it was like the 1st or 2nd year I was in there. But he had to live there. And he finally got a home pass. And you leave, I want to say you leave Friday night. And you're supposed to come back Sunday. Well, he waited until
I
Sunday.
don't hear you.
He waited until Sunday and took off from his house because he didn't want to go back to Pathways. Well, this dude used the payphone in the town of Oil City to call Pathways and tell him that he's been kidnapped and taken to Arkansas.
Yeah.
And they had caller ID then, so it came up Oil City payphone. Well, it ended up, I think he like ended up stealing a Jeep or something, but I was in there, like it was like the next day after he called. It was like big talk, and the cops come in, he's like in handcuffs and shackles, and they're just like dragging him through the hallway, he's crying.
Dude, there was a kid when I was in there, he got in trouble because he got somebody, like one of the other kids' phone numbers in there. He got their phone number, and this kid was like always pretending to be gangster and shit, but he got in trouble, and the cops showed up one day, and everybody was like, what happened? So after they took him out in handcuffs, we were sitting at the little lunch table we had, and this kid looks at us and goes, yeah, I didn't know what to do, so I just told the teachers. He texted me and asked me for a picture of my dick. And I was like, what the shit?
Hell?
Yeah, dude, he texted him and asked him, so he went in and told the teachers, and they called, so he got, like, the kid got in trouble for, like, sexual harassment. But the same kid that did that was the same kid that went to Clarion County Jail and got in the cell, like, the same cell with the dude that he was fucking his girlfriend. And, like, he was fucking this kid's girlfriend when he was out, and he went into jail. Well, I guess one of the COs were, like, walking around doing bed checks, and he farted in her face. So she put him in a cell with the dude whose girlfriend he was fucking. And this kid beat him up and knocked him out, and then tattooed K-Money's bitch on his back while he was knocked out cold.
No.
And this was in jail, by the way.
Yeah, and this kid, like,
How long was it? Now, see,
this was in county jail.
You watch shit on TV, you watch shit anywhere. Someone gets knocked out. You're not out long enough to get a fucking full-blown tattoo.
The dude was probably scared.
Unless he just
So
sat
he
there
just
and been
laid
submissive.
there.
Well, I'll tell you,
Submissive.
whenever I worked in Franklin and we had, like, they have an Apple Fest out there, dude, this kid, fucking ridiculous. He was walking down the street with his fucking ass hanging out in, like, sweatpants while it's, like, 95 degrees out. And there's, like,
That's
a
why I was
whole
asking,
town
though.
full of people not wearing a shirt and carrying a stereo on his shoulder, blasting NBA Youngboy. And I'll tell you now, that tattoo was quick whenever it was done because it's shitty. It looks
you
like it
seen
was.
it?
It looks like because he walked past us and I was looking. It looks like a little pick and poke, like real quick.
Well, you don't got good stuff in county jail.
Dude, they make tattoo guns out of like fan
Listen.
motors and shit.
I'm gonna tell you, it's kind of embarrassing, but it's funny. So we were talking about Pathways. So I was in there for a couple months, and I was like, young me was just hating it, and my mind's just running like, how am I gonna get these dudes back? So when we get into this place, they take our shoes, so we don't run away. Whatever. We got to raise our hand before we go in and out of rooms. So I go out of my room into the big they had it was like a rec area. They had like pool table and stuff. I went through there because the bathrooms was there, and I raised my hand. There was this teacher there. He was like 70s, 80s, but he was not, dude. Like, you did not want to get 15 called on you. Like 15, they'll jump on you, just restrain you, And out of all the guys, that old guy was the one that scared me. And I went into the bathroom, and I'm like, I'm in the shitter, and I'm like peeing. I was like thinking. And I look, and they have 3 rolls unopened toilet paper in the back. And I look down at my feet. I got my socks on. I'm like, I'm going to plug this toilet with this roller. Toilet paper rolls. So I take my socks off. I get the rolls in. I start getting my foot in there. So I'm like, heel, trying to push all these rolls into the, stall it down in there. And I'm like splashing water everywhere when someone comes in. So I'm like shin deep in the toilet, just not moving. Well, they go, and I hear them, say you can exit. So I'm like hitting it, and I just start flushing it. And I just let a bunch of water. There was probably almost an inch of water on the floor in the bathroom. I come out, I raise my hand. He told me to come out, and I said, I don't know what happened, but the bathroom's flooded. So we leave, and I got kind of cocky on the bus. I was telling everybody on the bus that on the way home.
Somebody
I was
ratted, didn't they?
I was like, yeah, I did that, laughing and everything. Well, the next day, someone told on me.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Well, the old guy comes in. I'm in my class, and he was like, did you clog the shitter? And I said, nope. It wasn't me. He's like, well, I'm getting told you were doing it. And I said, I don't know what you're hearing, but it ain't true. He walks out. 3 minutes later, this other guy comes in. He's like real short, Oompa Loompa looking dude. He was like, he was like, "Did you clog the toilet?" And I said, "Yep." They like grabbed me by the neck and they like slammed me against the wall and stuff and like screaming in my face. And that old guy comes back in and he was like, "You just told me you didn't do it." And I said, "Well, I ain't telling your old crazy ass anything. I know better than that." And he's like, "You right."
Was he cool with you after that?
Yeah. Yeah,
That's
he's cool.
funny, dude. Yeah, it's wild what they can do to you in there, dude. Because I got in trouble one time, like when I was in there, just because I don't even remember what the hell I got in trouble for, but it was something stupid. They thought I was talking back, and I wasn't. I tried explaining that, but then they just thought I was talking back more. But
eventually
he takes
it does
me out
become talking back.
this
when they
big
tell
ass
you to
dude
stop.
takes me out in the hallway and like grabs me by the throat and slams me up against the wall, and he's like yelling in my face. And I was like, "Are you even allowed to do this? Like, is this legal?" And he's like, "It doesn't fucking matter in here." And I was like, "Well, this isn't fucking Auschwitz, dude. I should be able to not get grabbed by the fucking throat illegally."
Well, don't talk back, man.
I'll let this.
Grown
I
up.
didn't do it again.
You got dad.
He was a big guy, man. I know my limits.
I'll let this person tell it, but it's one of our brothers in the room here that went with me there. I was right behind him. We were going to lunch, and he had, I want to say, his appendix out right before this, and he's walking to lunch, and this dude, he wasn't even doing anything, grabs him like by the head and like pulls him down and punches him in the stomach. Well, I guess it like tore his staples or something in the stomach. Well, his mom or something took him out of there, and I don't know if, I think I want to say they like looked at camera or something, but they knew, maybe I said something, because I was stupid. I was stupid, and like I probably said something like, "Yeah, you know, I just watched him punch him for no reason, you know." So they took me into the office, and I remember I was probably like
Fucking right.
110 pounds, and they like picked me up and
Pure
like slammed me on my back onto the desk, and they're like screaming, spitting in my face, you know, hitting me, punching me, whatever. And they were just like flinging me all around the room, and they were like, "Yeah, you know," they're like, "Do you know about it?" And I didn't, like, you know, they're adults, so you thought I could just say, and I was like, "Yeah, I seen it." And then it just made it worse. They just started like pounding on me more, and they're like, "Well, the cops are gonna investigate it. The cops are gonna investigate it, and if you go in there and tell them that you've seen that, we're gonna make you live here." So I had to go in there when the cops, because they were like asking me, and I was like, "No, I didn't see anything." Dude, it was so crooked in there.
It's dirty.
Oh, fuck
in
yeah,
there,
I
dude.
believe
Bad
it.
crooked,
It's
man.
a wild ass place.
I always like wish I'd run into him. I was with Goon the one time, and I ran into the owner, and I wish I said something, but we were in Three Rivers Casino, and I didn't want to get too out of hand.
The owner of Pathways,
Yeah.
he lives in Franklin.
Yeah, I'd like to knock on his door.
Yeah, actually, I saw.
He's a big dude though, but I ain't 110 pounds no more. I'm probably 115 now.
Boy, that's a big boy. I grown up. That's funny.
Yeah, it was just so dirty, dude. Like they just, I remember eating
That's
lunch.
fucked
We
up.
couldn't even have our like elbows on the table, you know.
What did you guys get for lunch? Did you get hot food?
Oh yeah.
All we got was cold
Really?
sandwiches. That's it.
Dude,
it was
the
like
food-
chicken salad, egg salad, which I don't care because I fucking love chicken and egg salad sandwiches. But yeah, that's all we got. We got 2 sandwiches, a bag of chips, and a cup of water or Kool-Aid
Dude.
if we wanted it.
Did you ever hear of Adelphi?
Yeah.
It was the biggest joke. So they send me there, okay? I'm the youngest kid in there. I was in 7th grade, got kicked out. I go to Adelphi. They're like, the principal's like, "Oh, this is going to teach you how to be a man, you know. We're going to break you," like I was a wild stallion or something. So I stroll in here, you know, expecting to see
Is this
kids my
after
age.
you went to Pathways or before?
No, this was before. So it's around December, okay? So I started school in August. I'm already kicked out of Red Bank, you know, going to placements by December. And I walk in there, and it's literally everybody's seniors. The youngest one was probably 10th grade. So there's me, 7th grade, you know. So I'm getting bullied, like, every day. And I say every day. I only lasted 13 days. In this place, okay?
That's fucking rough.
So after the first day, I was like, you know what, you know, little me thought I was like a Billy Badass, and I'm like, dude, I go to this school and they're like making me out to be a bitch. I said, no more. One day I was like, no more. It doesn't matter if they're bigger than me. I'm fighting everybody. So this one kid, he was like half black or something. I don't even remember his name, but he would just rag on me all the time. And there was another kid in there. He was a senior at Red Bank, and I kind of felt bad because I was like, you know, he didn't seem the strongest, which I shouldn't have had this mentality, but I was like, I'm going to fight him, you know? But he was a big dude.
He is. Biggest, baddest.
So that was already in my mind, and I'm sitting there, and he wasn't doing anything. And then he said, like, the stupidest thing, and we had, like, gym class or something. And he would wear suspenders. So I remember, I was like, you know, I'm just going to, like, pick on this kid, so, you know, maybe they don't, like, pick on me as much. So I started flapping his suspenders, you know, on his back. We ended up getting mad, so we ended up fist fighting in gym. And it was, like, the next day, I go in this class, and there was this new kid that came. I think he was from, like, Ford City or Katanning. And he thought he was gangster, and he was, like, probably the same age as me, and they were, like, picking on him already. It was, like, his first or second day there. And they'd give us one pen and one pencil, and that had to last us the school year. Well, since I get picked on, they'd always, like, steal them, you know? Well, I would be like, you know, I'd go up to the teachers and be like, hey, you know, someone stole my pen and pencil. Can I have another one? Well, most of them were nice enough, but this English teacher was the biggest pain in my ass ever. She'd always give me shit. So I go in there, and
That doesn't sound so bad if she's always giving you stuff.
no, like,
Giving
giving
you
me
shit.
shit.
I know, but
like,
the
not-
way you said it.
Yeah. So I go to the bathroom, okay? I asked to go to the bathroom. I go out to the bathroom, come back, and they're all, like, giggling and laughing, looking at me. And I was like, oh, I knew my pen and pencil was gone. So I go over, and it's gone, and I'm standing there, and I was like, this is my 13th day. I said, I had enough to hear, you know? So I'm looking at it. I look at her, and I was like, I need a pen and a pencil. She's like, I just gave you one yesterday. You're not getting one. So I was like, you know what? I'm done with this place. I look around, and they don't have, like, staff or anything there. You know, you just go off the deep end. It's going to take a while before someone comes and helps. So I'm looking around, and I look at that kid that's been giving me shit, and I was like, where's my pen and pencil? And he looks at that new kid. So I look at him. I was like, where's my pen and pencil at? He was like, check the garbage can. I went over there. There's this green, gray loogie spit on it. And I was like thinking about reaching in there, and I was like, you know what? Like, I took it long enough. Like, I've been in here for 10 years, you know? I was like, you know, it's just, this is too much shit for one person to handle. So I go over to him, and we're in them desks, like, you know, at our high school, you can only get in one side. Well, I was standing on the side you couldn't get out of. And I was like, you're going to go over there. And I said, you're going to lick that shit off my pen and pencil and give it back to me. He said, I ain't doing shit. And I grabbed the desk like this, just under it. And I said, I'm going to tell you one more time, you're going to go get my pen and pencil and clean it off. And he started laughing, looking around.
Imagine this little scrawny bastard.
Dude, I was tiny, man. And I grabbed the desk and I just flung it up. And I thought, like, I put everything I had into it because I didn't think I was going to be able to flip them over because I was so small, you know? Well, this idiot sprawled out in front of it trying to balance it out. Well, it smashed him in the face and he just started gushing. Well, he, like, jumps up.
Did he go get it?
Huh?
Did he go get your shit?
No, he didn't go get it. So he jumps up, and this lady's screaming in the back, and everybody's like looking at me because this is like the real fight I've been in. And he like hits the ground, and he's like all confused for a second. He's looking at me. Well, I don't know why I didn't just start like throwing him, but he like jumps up, and I start laughing. Well, he's like starts like swinging like this at me, like through the classroom. Well, I was backing up like this with my hands up, trying to like move, and I ran into the chalkboard. I was like, oh, you know, I'm gonna get like screwed now.
Yeah.
Well, because I had nowhere to move, so I just stood still like this, and I could just hear his fist just punching the chalkboard. And then all of a sudden, this guy came out of nowhere and like grabbed us, and they pretty much told my school, they're like, you know, we don't got the staff for him.
He's bad.
I went right back
took
to
on the whole
I went right
school.
back to right back to regular school after that for Polish.
They let you back in.
They let me back in, and I went to Pathways after that.
You're a menace to society,
I was a
dude.
menace.
You
I
can't
was
be
bad.
out running around.
Dude, I was bad.
Hold up, man.
That's funny.
I think it's been a pretty good show, guys. It's been about 45 minutes.
You're close.
Yeah, 49.
20 seconds. One.
Dude, the only thing I don't get out of that is like, that shit helps no one.
No.
Nobody comes out of there a better person.
Dude, it just made me more pissed off.
Yeah, it just makes you want to fucking rebel more.
Yeah.
Like, those schools are useless.
Yeah, especially like pathways with us getting like beat and stuff. Like
Yeah.
that's not like what.
Yeah,
does
like
that
you're
do?
acting out because you probably had a shitty childhood. So I'm gonna send you somewhere
Yeah,
that
where-
is
where-
just
Show
like
your-
that. Yeah,
Attitude. Like,
put you in the environment you were in that
oh, you
made
were
you
beat
like
up?
this.
I was.
okay.
I was.
Yeah, you picked
Let's
on.
beat you up.
I was even like pretty weak then too. But, like pathways, like even mentally weak. And I remember it was like, this is gonna sound so girly, but they started screaming at me, and I was so small. I just like started like crying a little bit. Well, I remember the first dude is like he's like right in my face screaming, and when I hear something, I like look out of my peripherals, And this big dude, he's probably like
Yeah,
6'6",
little butterfly.
300 pound, is like standing on my shoulder, trying to back up his partner, but he's sobbing, just crying.
He
Because I was crying.
Oh,
So I'm like,
you felt bad as hell.
he was all right. That wasn't a job for him, dude. He had too much heart.
No, it wasn't.
I
He
thought
didn't
about
Sound
enjoy
like it
having
was
him.
for either of you.
5 seconds after this guy has sympathy for him, Anthony's like, dude, you ain't built for this shit.
Yeah,
You
you're
gotta-
a pussy. I'm supposed to cry.
Let the real man handle me.
No, I wasn't crying. I just got a little bit of spit in my eye.
Yeah, but this bitch cried. Your tears got in my
shit.
eyes.
Cheers across.
All right, guys. Whoa, them work way better sitting like this.
Yeah, that was loud.
Yeah.
What you just did there. Let's just blow out everybody's eardrums. Fuck you guys.
Yeah, sorry you're sitting.
Yeah,
4
I
feet
think that was
away.
pretty good.
All right, well, hey, thanks guys for joining. If anybody didn't catch our names, this is Zach. I'm Brock. That's Anthony. That's Goon. So yeah, thanks for tuning in.